Friends, hello, welcome back. The dynamic duo cards are out as we know. So there's a couple of things we'd like to run through here today. First of all, is it worth going out there and completing the sets that are out there? And another thing I'm going to talk about is, the effect that certain sets may have on the rest of the market when you're looking at buying and selling stuff here. But we're going to look at these dynamic duo sets real quickly here. The gold player collectible, as always, the choice 1 of 2 team of the or week 1 player set items. That does not include, I am 95% sure, does not include that McDavid in that Draisaitl. So I don't know if that's worth going down that road either. It's almost a Matthews or bust. Matthews' speed's not the greatest. It's something personally I avoided there for the week. There comes a point in time where those become nice though. We'll take a look at the items real quickly. We're talking over ahead here, looking at the sets as if we see the players out there. I know there's Matthews. And let's see. The Lindros is out there. Let's forget Lindros is out there. So it's almost Lindros or bust. So I guess you could always say Lindros. It's always concerning though. You could get Merzlikins or Korpisalo. It's actually one of those things. Honestly, if it was me, I would probably just, if you're gonna put that many, 2 gold collectibles, 60k, it's a choice set. You might as well just do the pack in the store at that point. And when you come to think of it, the pack gives you a gold collectible. It's 60k. It's actually a break-even pack when you really, break it down like that. The only thing is, it's not tradable. So you're gambling to hope you get something tradable, I guess, when you go down that route. So that is obviously the benefit of that there. But yeah, it looks like Lindros, Matthews is solid. And that's probably, maybe the Pietrangelo as well. The 86 Pietrangelo wouldn't be a bad pull either. I guess when you consider selling stuff there. So it's not a bad set to do, but it's still, I feel like it's a really risky one where if you come up empty-handed, you're really coming up empty-handed for cards that are worth pretty much nothing right now. But we're looking at the Dynamic Duo Volume 2, the 90 Master Set. It is a choice of 1 of 6, 90 overalls. You get to choose at 12 collectibles it costs now. So now we're talking 720k. That's a lot. That is a lot of collectibles to be going to. Henrik Sedin, Daniel Sedin. We're looking at the Sedins there. You get both of them, right? Is that what we're talking about? Trading gold collectibles, jerseys, and base player items. And we're looking at, Sedin or Demko, Pedersen. Interesting. Pedersen. I think we got a Pedersen laying around. That's not 24, is it? That is 24. Wow, that is a lot. I didn't realize that. Okay, 24 of them. That sounds right. You're talking 8, 16. That's 24. 20 of them. 20, perfect. But they're untradeable. So it's just like doing a 10 collectible, tradable one or untradeable one like this here. So if you do the untradeable and you're still talking, 600k? 500k? If you're buying a gold players on the market, which you can right now, 950, 100, or K, if you're spamming it, you can get them, at that price. You're talking 500k plus the, again, the untradeable stuff there. But we'll go ahead and take a look real quickly at these cards, if they're worth doing at that price. That's the question here I think you get ask yourself. Because there are cards, you give them a nice card and some good speed and a nice synergy or two, and you can look down there and say, you know what, it was worth it because I had a couple untradeable collectibles, and I'm happy to keep this player on my team for the year, or I'm happy to sell him for this price. But let's start with, can I look at just this? Probably not. We'll go this direction. This will work here. We'll look at Barkov since he's standing here staring at us right here. Or that's Ekblad, not Barkov. My mistake there. We'll get Ekblad here. Ekblad, 87 speed. He's got a nice card. He's got Spark. He's got Howitzer. Howitzer moves up to the 90. So he's got a really solid card. Maybe one of the better ones here when you consider he might be the fastest player out of all these guys. And he's currently, 600k there. I cannot read. Ekblad. Looks like the same player there. Yeah, Ekblad, 575. Ekblad again. Yeah, Ekblad's a pretty common one. 545 there. Ekblad 580. It's still a lot. 545 there. Still a lot of coins to be playing, but it's not a bad card. I think you look at is it Heiskanen? Yeah, Heiskanen. He's an 87 speed to compare it there. He has distributor though. That's the big difference. Where I could see Ekblad continue to drop a little bit because he doesn't have, but he's 6'4", but he doesn't have a synergy there. So he'll probably drop under 500k at some point in time. Maybe even, closer to 400k where you could scoop him up there, which then again, it comes down, you don't really want to put the collectibles in if you're going to try to pick something like that up, I don't think. Unless, again, you got him laying around. We're looking at, who else here? We'll take a look at Roman Josi, 87 speed. Another guy, no speed synergies though, so that's going to make him worth a little bit less there. And we're already seeing that come down there. Not really interested in that if he's got no speed synergy at all as a 90 overall, at least from an untradeable standpoint. I think it is important to keep in mind, you got other 90s like Roman Josi, Ekblad. You got the Ryan Suter out there. It's not the same person, obviously, but he was around 330k, 350 that 90 overall was at one point. And now that there's more 90s out, there's 91 sprinkling the market. It's going to be a little less still. Again, Yosi's a guy, I feel like, you could see him around that 400, maybe even 375 he slips under. And it's, don't go out there and say he's going to be flooding the market with those prices. But I do think in these 2 weeks, you could see him drop down to that price. But if I'm looking at these cards, I'm saying Ekblad, I'm saying Josi look like two of the better cards. You might be better off going defense, because here's the thing here with these sedins. You got distributor and Daniel, abso-freaking-lutely. You have it on Henrik, abso-freaking-lutely. But even with distributor, 88 speed. It's not an end game speed. It's hardly a right now speed when you consider you're paying that much for it. That is way too much. If you ask me, you know, again, personal opinion, you're welcome to do whatever you want with your coins. For me, that's just too much. 500K for Sedin, 539 there, 558 there. I don't see the value for your team in the long run, as opposed to, see, if you pick up a Roman Josi, you pick up an Ekblad, most defenders, as we're learning right now, at 90 overall, this is where they're falling. Right around that 87 speed. Right around that, they're both 87, yeah. And then you have, what? You have Ryan Suter's got the 87. You got Haskin at the 86. So that 87, that's an ideal speed for a defenseman at a 90, where you consider Roman Josi, Ekblad. It'll be, you know, be a few months before they get a card that's above a 90 overall. And for that reason, I do like the defenseman here a little bit. I don't, again, you know, I'm still between it for me personally. I don't think I'm gonna, if I'm just gonna be, you know, quite blunt, I'm probably not buying any of these guys. I'm a big end game card guy, or I'm a big value guy. I don't see Roman Josi and Ekblad being these. I mean, you could look at them and stick them on your team right now if you want to do the collection. I think you could stick them on your team. They'll be on your team the rest of the season. Specifically, is it Ekblad with Ekblad with Howitzer, so him more than Roman Josi, especially since he's bigger. That's actually a really desirable kind of card to have there. Being a 90 speed at 6'4", you'd love to have that right there. So I'm probably leaning Ekblad if I were to choose a defenseman out of these guys. Ekblad over Josi. If you can get him into 450, 425, 475K range, that's pretty solid. And again, you know, you got them collectibles laying around, or just untradeable or something. You want to, you know, 2 or 3 tradable, and you want to make him untradeable. I wouldn't be upset about that. I think Ekblad's a guy I look at and say, if he's untradeable, I can, you know, make him untradeable for 400, 350K. I think that's a pretty good, you know, value there, because again, size and speed are so important in this game, and he's got both of those. If you can get Howitzer unlocked, which I think a lot of people are fighting for these days, 6 of them to get. So I could see, you know, pretty good chance you guys got that unlocked in your team if you're going that direction. Tuvo Teravainen, 630K, that's the wrong player that I know I'm looking at there. But these Sedins, it's the speeds that kills me for them. You can't have guys with that slow speed when they're 90 overalls, because the second they come out with another set, virtually everybody is going to have a better speed than that. It just makes them not much less desirable, and you're going to be forced to replace them. And not to mention, I think it's, again, an opinion thing. If you're paying 500K for a 90 overall, he shouldn't need to get a synergy to make him playable, to make him a good player, or to make him fast enough on your team to fit the rest of your team. And that's the problem with the Sedins, I think, this week, is you shouldn't have to do that. You know, like Carlson, he's got distributor. It's fantastic. 85 speed, but he's taller. You expect 85. I should say, you know, again, Josi is an example. Ekblad, 87 solid for defenseman. You don't need the Howitzer. You can make 87 work probably for a few months easily here, maybe even longer. To be honest, that's probably, you know, second, third line deep pairing for the rest of the year at that speed, considering how the speed's working this year. But you get to add, you know, you have to pay extra, but you can add the Howitzer, get the +3 there, which makes him that much more desirable, I think. Who are the other players out here? So we went through Ekblad, we went through the Sedins. There's just nobody else out here. These other guys out, or Ekblad. Did I miss Barkov? Did nobody buy the Barkov? I think Barkov's got a slower speed. You can kind of see what people think about these cards just by looking at what's out on the market here. There's not a lot of the ones that are, you know, the people aren't as interested in here, which I'll show you from a value standpoint there as well with the words. You're still seeing Carlson 500. I still think, I don't know, Carlson's that tough one. He hit that 89 right there. Ekblad, Roman Josi. There's literally none of these other guys up. There's Barkov. Barkov right there, Howitzer. He's got the speed on him too, 700K. That's a lot to be paying for a Barkov. Again, 84 overall, not into the speed. I'm looking at 2 guys. I'm looking at Ekblad and probably Josi. Honestly, I'm thinking just Ekblad. I don't know if I'd go Josi, because again, just because, you know, speed's harder to come by this year, and big players are still OP'd as can be if they can keep up with everybody else. You still bounce off of hits in this game, like, you know, you can just go 108 miles an hour to a guy and you just bounce right off you to put the puck on the back end. So that's still going to be valuable. But for that reason, I'm thinking it's Ekblad or bust for this set. And the other thing that comes up is the Connor McDavid set right here. So we're going to look at that real quick as well. I don't think we should go here to look at it. We'll go to the other one. And our thoughts on this one are pretty simple. I want to take a look at this McDavid card, though, before we say anything, just to make sure here. We'll take a look here. McDavid. We'll get to you before we keep talking. Is McDavid 88 overall. It is a light to lamp, 93 speed, solid. Very solid. But here's my thinking with McDavid. He's at 88 overall. It's a +1. And now, granted, when McDavid gets upgrades, they go up in price substantially. He'll probably get an 89 and 90. You know, you're talking 300, 400, maybe even 500K for those McDavid cards. But this is my thought process with McDavid. It's his first card. It's his first upgrade. He's going to get a lot of upgrades. And this cost what? 2 collectibles? 1 collectible. We'll take a look at the price here real quickly to get an idea of that. I think it's a collectible and then base McDavid or something, which, you know, that's why I was saying just a collectible, because you're just considering what you're paying for the upgrade there when you throw in the McDavid. I think it's untradeable too, isn't it? That's the other thing. McDavid. Did we just pass it up? McDavid, where are you at? McDavid, clear at the end right here. McDavid, Oilers, McDry set. Oh, okay. All right. Fancy. Sick name. All right. I'll bite. The McDry set. So you get the McDavid and Dry set on 2 collectibles. And yeah, that's what I thought. So it's a collectible for the upgrade for each one. And here's the thing. I'm not into this set, and this is why. Because I'd like to bring up McDavid stats, and EA's like, no, why is this not working? Hello? What? Did this stop working? Why can't I view player info? Interesting. It used to work like that. There we go. All right, perfect. We'll click it that way. Here's my thinking with McDavid. This is a 92. The next one's a 93. That means his 89 will be a 93 as well. His 90 will be a 94. But here's my thinking with McDavid. Magician Synergy, they changed that down the road for an 89 upgrade. He's still going to have a 93 speed, but let's say they give him, Howitzer. And you unlock Distributor on your team, that 93 is a 99. I consider that card endgame. He doesn't get any faster than that. The card's filthy the way it is. The shot doesn't need to be drastically higher. It'll be higher. It'll be the 89 overall, so the stats will be really solid there. And for that reason, I don't think you can say, let's get the untradeable 88, because I think you're hurting yourself there by just saying, why not just get the tradable 87 at that price and just keep them at sell when you want to get the upgrade. I'm looking, though, like I said, you look 1 month down the road or whenever EA hits them with the next upgrade here, they've been up and wishy-washy at the overalls this time around. They used to be +1, then it was +2. It seems like they're getting some +2, some +1. Those guys that didn't get any upgrades last October from their overall. But I think what you look at and say is McDavid, when he hits that 89, you give him a synergy, then that set or something becomes worth it, and you buy that card and say, stick McDavid on the team, you got Distributor unlocked, you got Howitzer unlocked, whatever. End game, done. 99 speed, maxed out. You ain't got to worry about his speed getting any higher. The shot, again, if you want to get a little picky about it, you can say the shot, but for the most part, the shot will work where it's at. It's very solid. It's going to be a shot close to the 90, and it's going to be over 90 in the accuracy, a little under 90 in the power, close to 90 in the power. Actually, wrist shot's 95 by 90, I'm looking at. It's going to be more than worth where it's at right now. So that's the game plan for McDavid and Draisaitl. I think the Draisaitl is still a little slow as well there. I look to buy the McDavid on an upgrade where he gets a good synergy and say, I'm done with him for the year. I ain't going to mess with him anymore. I can be happy that he's on the team, and he should still be somewhat reasonably priced. Yeah, Draisaitl is a little slow. So the McDavid Draisaitl set, avoiding that. Looks nice, avoiding it though. But the one thing I did want to say regarding the market with this set is I do think this can be an effective time to go again. I always like playing I gotta get the right base cards up here. I always like playing a base 86, 87 overall game when I flip cards on the market. And I think this is a good time for that, because you look at the set, and I do believe, again, it's a personal opinion. I think a lot of people do look at that and say it's not, I'm not dying to have these cards. I wouldn't mind 1 or 2 of them, but there's not like this, oh my goodness, I have to have this card. Let me rip a pack card, which I'm looking at and saying, okay, so there's less reason for people to rip packs over the weekend, less people to buy packs. You're still gonna have the squad battles packs. You're still gonna have the rivals packs, which are good days to, buy cards when they're cheap, when they're flooding the market. But I think the market dries up a lot quicker because there's not as many people out there ripping the packs over the weekend, over days that they're not getting free packs from the squad battles or rivals or hut champs and stuff. So I think it's a good chance to still go out there and nip some of these guys cheaper on the days they're getting released. Wait a couple days, on the Monday, the Tuesday, to resell them on the market. I do think that's a good opportunity for these right there because of the sets currently being out. We'll see. So we'll take a look at those. As always, get an idea of what the prices are going at right now. Or, right now is a great time. Sunday, Monday here, you get a price idea and buy them back up on Wednesday, Thursday area there. Wait a couple of days because the set will be out for 2 weeks as it usually is there. And you get a good opportunity to flip some of those. I think it's a good flipping chance right here for that reason right there. Everything else just kind of ties together though, right? Because it's kind of one of those things where it's like, oh, okay, so people ain't going to do the set. Maybe gold collectibles go down. And maybe they do. Right now there's nothing up. It'd be great to pick one up for 55, 60K. Maybe next week, a week into this set, they're a little bit cheaper. We'll see. But for the most part, there's less packs being ripped. That means less gold collectibles are being made. That means there's less gold players being pulled and sold in the marketplace. So it almost kind of has a little balancing act there. But again, you know, as usual, we'll be watching just in case. Never know if they see these bad boys drop down to 60K, 62K, 57, 55K. Hold on to them for the week, wait for the next set to come out, and wait for them to shoot right back up to where they are right now. Always the opportunist there on that one. I think always a good thing to look into there. But that's going to wrap things up. That's our thoughts there. I think we're looking at ekblad and probably just ekblad. Well, of course, always your personal choice. You love some of the players, pick them up and try them out, see how they go. That's our thoughts, though. As always, thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time.